We are young Jews, and we support Jewish sovereignty in Judea and Samaria and the Jordan Valley.
We support.
We support.
We support.
We support.
Annexation and sovereignty in Judea and Samaria.
The patriarchs, where our ancestors are buried, is in Hebron, in Judea and Samaria. Bethlehem was the birthplace of King David, and it is where Rachel's tomb is located. Shiloh was the first capital city of Israel, where the Holy Tabernacle stood. You know, the city of Shechem, known as Nablus, was where Abraham first set foot in the land of Israel. These locations, Judea and Samaria, are the heartland of biblical Israel and an important part of our history.
Let's look at some tweets online, comments about Israel and the annexation.
This is a lie because Israel has stolen nothing. Under international law, according to the San Remo Resolution of April 25th, 1920, and the Mandate for Palestine, July 24th, 1922, Judea and Samaria, East Jerusalem, and Gaza were all supposed to be part of the Jewish state. According to Article 80 of the UN Charter, all mandates of the League of Nations are still valid and legally binding.
From the river to the sea is a chant calling for the destruction of Israel in its entirety. This is what the Palestinian leaders want. No amount of international aid or land concessions will ever be enough for them. We've already given up 75% of the land lawfully granted to us at San Remo Conference, which now happens to be Jordan. We gave back the Sinai, we withdrew from Gaza. How much more are we supposed to give up? We will eventually negotiate our state out of existence, and there is 0% chance that is happening.
This post simply distorts the reality. Israel, for the sake of peace, has given up over 70% of the land it once held. Now, if my country, the United Kingdom, were to do the same, it would lose England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and a bit of Scotland.
The Jordan Valley is a security must for Israel. Those who say that applying Israeli law to the Jordan Valley and Judea and Samaria is a bad move are fear-mongering. The same point was made when declaring Jerusalem the capital of Israel in 1949, moving the government's ministries to Jerusalem in 1951, uniting Jerusalem in 1967, and applying Israeli sovereignty to the Golan Heights in 1981. They were wrong then, and they're wrong now.
A Palestinian-run Judea and Samaria would be an existential threat to Israel's survival. We cannot repeat the same mistakes of conceding land. When Gaza was turned over and 10,000 Jews had to relocate because they wouldn't allow any Jews to live there, the result was Hamas and 3 wars. Land for peace does not work.
Now, let's assume that Judea and Samaria were to be given to the Palestinians to establish a state. What would happen were we to be taken over by an Islamist faction, such as what actually happened in Gaza, since we so kindly and gracefully withdrew? It would become a strategic and a security nightmare for Israel because of Judea and Samaria's high terrain. It would make Israel's border 9 miles wide, exposing Ben Gurion Airport and making it an easy target.
Evidently, land for peace is not working. Indeed, the murder of 67 Jews in one day in Hebron in 1929 just shows that this conflict is not about land. Those Jews were murdered before there even was a Jewish state.
If Israeli presence in Judea and Samaria is so detrimental to the cause of peace, why was there no peace in the first 19 years of modern Israel's existence? If statehood and self-determination has always been the objective of the Arabs, why did they not aim to establish a state in those 19 years?
Palestinians were offered statehood multiple times and rejected it every single time. They were offered 95% of Judea and Samaria and all of Gaza, and they rejected it because it wasn't enough for them. The sad reality is they have no intention of living side by side with Jews, and they'll settle for nothing less than Israel's destruction.
Many claim that if the borders were restored to the 1967 lines, there would be peace. But this is a distortion of reality, both geographically and realistically. There was no peace before 1967. In 1948, Arab armies attacked Israel and attempted to wipe the nascent state off the map. Israel won that defensive war, but there was no peace before 1967.
We are young Jews, and we support Israel's biblical, legal, and historic rights.
We support annexation.
We support liberation.
We support Israel.
Join us now.